years old. And those are some of the stories in the news tonight. More now on the ISIS war on Christians and the lack of outrage or action across the rest of the world. With us now, Pastor John MacArthur, senior pastor at the Grace Community Church and host of the Grace to You radio program. Pastor, welcome. Great to have you here. So, is ISIS clearly waging a war on Christians, and why aren't people more upset?
Yeah, ISIS is specifically waging a war on Christians and, of course, Jews. And the reason goes way, way back in their history. They believe that Christianity and Judaism is heretical. They believe that Christians and Jews stand in the way of accomplishing global conquest. And people have to understand this. There is a kind of benign form of Islam, people who just go about their daily lives. But in the literature and in the Quran, there is a view that clearly says heretics are to be killed. Not all Muslims hold to that, and we're grateful for that. Some do. But even more significantly, there is an apocalyptic form of Islam. There is an end-of-the-age form of Islam. We would say it's eschatological. It's about the end of everything. And that is the form of Islam that is held in Iran and with ISIS. And let me parallel those two in this way. Iran wants to bring about the new age in which Islam rules the globe. Their vision of that will be brought about by nuclear power and threat.
This is
ISIS,
world domination,
much more primitive.
Is what we're talking about. And you're saying ISIS is a little different. Let me show you what they've been doing today. They've been smashing up a museum in Iraq. So items that people have, kept and held fast to for centuries. Look at these pictures. I don't know if you have returned and you can see this, Pastor, but essentially they're just laying waste to the history of the Middle East, really. Why would they do that?
Again, anything that is pre-Islamic, and these are ancient artifacts that go back before that, anything that represents anything other than Islam, that they want to demonstrate. This is sort of metaphoric for their power over the world. Iran is more sophisticated, more scientific. They want global conquest by nuclear power. That's why we can't take a simplistic view of what they're doing. Right. ISIS, they want genocide now. Much, much different. Okay, so,
you said basically that the world is a dangerous place. But I want you to hear what the Secretary of State, John Kerry, said recently.
Despite ISIL, despite the visible killings that you see and how horrific they are, we are actually living in a period of less daily threat to Americans and to people in the world than normally, less deaths, less violent deaths today than through the last century.
So that was just this week, Wednesday, that John Kerry said that. Do you agree?
If you just Google one word, Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I, Google that, and what will come up is the entire end of the era, eschatological, apocalyptic vision of extreme Islam. It will show you that they're trying to prepare the world for the coming of the Islamic Messiah. The Messiah comes, the 12th Imam, and he comes to conquer the globe for Islam. If you think this is not serious, then you are completely in the dark, and everybody that you're supposed to protect is in danger.
Well, the government's doing nothing, essentially, and the president has said, he won't even say Islamic terrorism. That's not a phrase that will pass his lips. What should the U.S. be doing?
Well, again, just Google Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I. Let the government do that. Let the White House do that and see the completely clear apocalyptic vision that comes up that they're trying to produce in the world. You cannot ignore this is Islam in its apocalyptic form. Listen, government is designed by God to stop this kind of thing. That's not the church's job. The church is to accept persecution, accept martyrdom. It always has. They killed Jesus. They killed 11 of the 12 apostles. Christians have been martyred through history. We expect it. We accept it. and we acknowledge the people who persecute us. We bless them. We pray for them. We love them. We forgive them. The church's job is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ to the ends of the world. That's the only hope of salvation for anyone, including Muslims.
Pastor John MacArthur, thank you so much for coming on. Fascinating conversation tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gerri.